Good evening, everyone. It's Sparks here, back for more Final Fantasy XIV. Um, there's not much to say really. The last time around, we were stuck waiting to get into Asphodelos, so we didn't make any real progress, which is why I made a point of not naming this episode differently and just kept it the same. And we are going to continue with what we were doing last time with regards to gathering resources while we wait for the queue to pop. With any luck, the queue will just pop straight away, but there's no guarantee of that, so we'll just have to see. Anyways, queuing to get into the game first. Also, I'm going to be ordering food at some point during the course of this first stream. I'll be doing 2 streams today, partially because I need to make sure that I have a stream to upload to my YouTube, but also because I really want to get ahead. Because right now I'm only 3 days ahead, but ideally I like to be a full week ahead. So if I do 2 streams today, one before I have dinner and one after, it should allow me to get it so that I'm back to being up to the 23rd, which will mean if I do a stream tomorrow, I'll have the 24th, so that'll keep me a consistent 5 days ahead, and I'm probably not going to be able to stream on Monday, so that'll drop me down to 4 days. But if I do 2 streams on Tuesday, that'll get me to 6 days, I think. If I do 2 to 3 on Tuesday, I should be able to get back to being ahead. But we'll see. Right now, switch to Reaper. Queue for Asphodelos, the 4th circle. Join the queue. Check what we need for miner. We need to go to Earth's Gift, which is near Quarry Mill. We'll need to go near Bullfrog next. Ugh. I'll be sticking with what I did last time. Let's see. And trying to get 50 of each resource. Alright, so we've got raw tourmaline. And we'll activate King's Yield so that on this first one... Yeah. Oop. I should do quick gathering. We have a good chance of getting everything we need. I am hoping that we are able to get into Asphodelos. If not, I will just go ahead and continue with the main scenario. Because I should be making progress at least one story. I just hope that I have a high enough level equipment for the next story bit. Because I really don't think I do. Based on what the level is. Jesus Christ, the fact that we're getting so close to enemies that will attack. Oh wait, no, they won't attack us. We're level 43. So it'd be a level 47 enemy that would attack us. But these level 45 enemies won't. It did suck how last time we weren't able to continue with Asphodelos because of the fact that the level requirements were too high. Or not level requirements. Level requirements are why we can't continue with other quests. The reason we can't continue with these ones is because the queues aren't popping, which is really frustrating. It's a Saturday, so there should be people queuing for this. It's the middle of the week. There should be plenty of people wanting to play the game and do content, especially content that is relatively new. It's not new, but it's new enough that there should be a lot of people who haven't finished it yet. But I guess it's also true that because of what day of the week it is, a lot of people aren't actually doing this content. Because a lot of people are going to be trying to clear the content that will give them weekly things so that they can get that. Speaking of which, still not enough for anything. Where? Well, when it hits about 8:30, I'm gonna go ahead and order my food, because I forgot to take something out of the freezer, and I have nothing in really that I can use as food. But I want to stream for at least 2.5 hours, so give it about an hour for the food to arrive. Well, we're getting spinels. Good thing these ones aren't rubber hose, scythe wielding maniacs. Or trauma sponges, I guess, would be a more accurate way of referring to that spinel. So much trauma in that series that never went resolved until the end. Seriously, that's not even really a joke when talking about Steven Universe. So many characters had unresolved trauma. Okay. It's not popping quick enough, so... What do I have? There. That should give us enough of a bonus. I hope. There's GP and perception. Yeah. To a max of... It's set to a max of 10 or 22. So not much extra, but still a bit extra. And we have officially gone over the queue time. Meaning, when it goes over like this, it means that we are pretty much setting the queue time ourselves. Which is never a good thing when we're the ones that are actually responsible for why the queue is at a certain level. It could also mean that it'll pop soon. But you never know. You never know. We spent a good hour being at this kind of thing, where the average wait time was slightly below our current wait time. And it just kept getting worse. Because it wouldn't pop. That's frustrating. And I hope that at some point in the future, Square Enix realizes how frustrating this is. Being unable to make progress in certain bits of content because there aren't people playing it. And they'll do what they've done with a lot of the older content and actually put... Not even the older content. At this point in the game, any dungeon that's a 4-person does actually have an NPC option with duty support, and that's great because it means you can go through the entirety of the story without having to without having to wait for other people. However, at the same time, you can still play with other people if you want to. And you actually get rewarded for playing with other people as you get more XP and items. From chests. Granted, it does mean that when you open chests, there's a chance another player will claim the item. But it also means you have a chance to get more items. So, guaranteed 3 items versus potentially getting 6 items. I think I would personally prefer that option, which is one of the reasons why I tend to play with other people. For my first playthroughs of any dungeon. But at the same time, I also acknowledge that you are going to have cases where there just isn't anyone playing it. And so it's nice to have the option to play with NPCs. It's what we had to do for at least 2 separate bits of content. Wait, no. Is it at least 2? We've used duty support for 2 dungeons in the course of our playthrough. Wait, no. 1 dungeon and 1 trial. Which, incidentally, trials are the thing that they don't have duty support for yet. Anything that's 4-person dungeons or trials, those... are set to... Oop, there it is. Those are set up so that you can play them with duty support. But they've only got 1 8-person trial set up with duty support. And I hope that at some point in the future, they incorporate duty support into all of the 8-person dungeon trials and also incorporate duty support into alliance raids and normal raids and pretty much any content that people aren't playing. Because I would love to get to play through the Bahamut, the Call of Bahamut part, but nobody's playing that content. Ooh, the world unsundered, Asphodelos, the fourth circle. Come forth, my allies, and help us fight. Ooh, spikes. Ooh, he's getting serious. Hemethios Hesperios. Oof, this is gonna be a tough fight. He's basically become a vampire, though. My first time here. Okay. Okay, so that was a simple AoE. I have a bad feeling about that. Oh god, what the fuck is that? Okay, that answers that. Though the pulsing part didn't come up until significantly later. Why did... Okay. It looks as if the tank has stayed over there. Or somebody has. Damn it. Okay, that's different. Yeah, the previous one was a... Okay, so the previous one... So we need to pay attention to what's produced by the cloak. This moment is the full measure of Prometheus' power. So whatever color that is, will tell us what the next thing is. There is but one master. Setting the scene. Okay. These halls are my domain. Okay, so that first one was a get far away from it because it's going to expel, because it will inflict more damage if you're too close to it. Whereas that one appears to be a get in close to the center because it's going to expel outwards and hurt you if you're too close or if you're too far away. Okay, I don't see how... Okay, so that one is one of those ones where I feel like you wouldn't know what it does unless you've seen it. So it's a bit cruel. Oh shit. 3 of them. I don't know how to respond to that. Because I can see the pulsing in one. Okay, that's the pulse in one. Or the one that'll push you out. Then this next one, I imagine... it's one of those ones where you need to spread. But it's hard to do that without coordination. Kind of have to guess where everyone else is gonna go, and then hope you guess correctly. Still, we're doing alright. Oh, shit. How does this work? Okay, I don't know how that was supposed to work. I guess I should have actually noticed that it showed... Right. I think I get how that one works now that I've actually seen it. Even though it... What you're supposed to do, right? Don't take your sign is what you're supposed to do there. Oh. Okay. The fuck? Okay, that was called Northernly, so... Okay. I get how it works now. This attack is called Southernly Shift, so you want to move that direction. Okay, both of the tanks are gone down. Healers, for the love of God. Okay, they got a tank back up. But then... Sorry, some of us are here for the first time. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, look at this! This is a totally new attack! What's this one? Oh, basically don't pass it on to somebody who isn't that element. He's amusing at first, but it's still a rat for everything disposed of. Okay. Yep. Gotta get the other... Oh, shit! What are they supposed to do here? All 4 spots are taken. Okay, we have to watch them. One of them is pull-in, one of them is... Okay, which one's gonna be first? Okay, that's the first one, which is, I believe... It's the one where we don't want to all be standing together. Okay, this is the... Getting close if you don't want to be pushed into spikes one. Okay. Don't know what the red one is. Ah, it's a group up one. But don't be standing on your marker. And now this one's a get the fuck away one. The healer made the right choice using the, okay, Westerly. The healer definitely made the right choice there using the LB3. Okay, I need to pass this on to a nun. Okay, westernly shift. Basically, do not be standing in the center when he casts that. This is a tough fight. I mean, it's the last fight in this part of the quest chain. But I wasn't expecting it to be this tough. Oh god, this again. I don't think he's supposed to have been able to do that again. But in fairness, I think a few of us are here for the first time. Which one is next? The one that means you should run away from the center. Alright, the next one is the one that means you should split up. God damn it. Oh. And then don't stand on your marker. We're getting there. Ooh, that was way too close for my liking. Fuck! Okay, the easterly one is a bit different. In that it's a propeller one. But it's fine. Most people are alive right now. And he's down to 8%. We should be able to do this. I was still invincible there when he launched that. So, thank God. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it does nothing against the boss like this, but... Thank you for at least trying. Oh god, again? There. Could be worse? Really? It could be worse, you say? Fuck you! That was fun, but god damn was it tough. Pandemonium Asphodelos complete. Well, obviously I want that, and that, and that. I basically am gonna bid on everything. Okay, so I didn't get that. It's a shame. I would have liked to get the little bat. Commendations definitely go to the freaking healers. Because god damn were they working hard. We're probably not going to get the ones I really want, which is the chest plates. Why are you utterly disappointed? I think we should be celebrating victory. Okay, I got a few items at least, but not the ones I really wanted, which was the chest plate. Which is a shame. I'll have to rerun Asphodelos off camera a few times to get all the equipment we need from it. Now, Themis, we end this here. Will it work? Fools. I will not be put in chains. Of course it wasn't going to be that easy. To think that I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you as more than a mere nuisance. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the star with me. You are wasting your breath, Hesperios. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes, yes. My repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Though I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. Oh, shit! Oh, wow! Okay! So he'd rather die than just tell the truth. I remain loyal to my very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. Dignity! That was suicide, mate! That's hardly dignifying. You stabbed yourself. Granted, in a very dramatic way, but still. How did your ambition lead you astray, Hesperios? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandemonium. You had Lahabrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? You would forsake all that and sully your legacy besides? I do want answers, and I hope we get answers as to why he did all this. He became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his plans lie in tatters. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. Hesperios' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was jealous that fate had chosen you, and not him, to be Lahabrea's son. So terrible did this jealousy become that he sought verboten power, power that Lahabrea would be unable to ignore. How does a pursuit for respect warp one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? I've never heard of such a thing. It's not as uncommon as you might think. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing. Perhaps that signifies naught but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times, a person you trust to guide you true, but it is to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again. But we have spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperios' magic is fading throughout Asphodelos. Now as the Vergauti seize control of the facility and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? He's a lot more powerful than he gives credit. What is his presence? Ichthyonos, what lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects Asphodelos to Abyssos. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that Asphodelos is free of obstruction, I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. Oh, goody. Oh. Wow. Okay. A warding sigil? How? Let's return to the gates for now. I should like to apprise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Okay. Although we have defeated Hesperios, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandemonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions. Could this mean that Hesperios wasn't actually behind this? It is a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. If this was more than the result of a panicked mind, you were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It is possible that the same magic could have poisoned Hesperos's heart, twisted his affection for Lahabrea into a burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made an offer of power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperios into that thing? If so, it stands to reason they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, a mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments. For more potential hemitheo. Theoi. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperios. Do not lose heart yet, Erychiothonos. Hesperios challenged us alone, and that tells you that the process of his creation was a long and taxing one. He was the first Hemiotheos, and the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into Pandemonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. With the creations still having free reign of Asphodelos, that won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles, and thus can wield interment magic within their halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that? That nothing's stopping us from returning order to Asphodelos. Just so. I shall require your expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement, however. You are Asphodelos' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to Lahabrea? 'Tis too soon to say. Let us first find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed. Even so, if it means saving even a single life within Pandemonium, I'm not above asking Lahabrea for help, should it come to that. Neither am I. I would like to see what he was like in the original world. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos's actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and must proceed forward with the utmost caution. To that end, Erychiothonos and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodelos. You should take this time to rest. Surely you are weary, and there may be more battles ahead of us. Themis' burden may grow heavier in your absence, but he's shown that he's more than capable to bear it. Still, I would help wheresoever I'm able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two. I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense. You owe us nothing. It was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Elsewise, we would have likely succumbed to the hippocampus's assault. Each of us has arrived at this dire pass by separate paths, but it is only by combining our respective expertise that we reach the end of it and see Pandemonium saved. Thank you, Themis. Hesperos's words seem to have affected me more than I realized. Together we've come this far, and together we'll reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Sparks his rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. Gods, yeah. I don't think they ever would have expected us to time travel this far into the past. Because we're at a point even earlier than when we were in the main scenario. Welcome, Sparks. Back from the past, none the worse for wear, I see. So what did you find? So there is evil afoot in Pandemonium, an already ominous place. I must say, mythic beasts and missing warders truly are fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. It appears the voice Sparks heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived among the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. Much remains shrouded in mystery. Yet ilm by ilm will unveil that mystery, with the help of Sparks, of course. By his actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, and he returns to the same present he left. Which told him one thing, that his intervention in Pandemonium's crisis is one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. Yeah, pretty much. We were always destined to travel to the past. There is no telling what consequences would arrive if we stopped pursuing this matter now. Whatever plot is unraveling within Pandemonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancients, and their despair would leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. That despair would only feed the terrible beasts that arose during the final days. The first final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars it left were made even deeper, and risk losing our present entirely. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I have asked much of you already, but can I count you to continue your work at Pandemonium? You don't even have to ask. Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. If there is aught we can do to ease your burden, you need only say the word. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal into our keeping? While we cannot accompany you to the past, perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. Yeah, why not? It shines just as splendidly as the day we met. We shall begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for some time. When as matters in Elpis seem to be in a similar state, I must ask that you rest. For that, allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I found it only suitable to recruit another assistant. Mylene is an expert in armaments from throughout history, be they from the far-flung past or made in the most modern forges. Should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring it here and she will be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras and will give you goods in return that should aid you in trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to peruse the records of events you have reported here, Nemejiji has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. Which means she'll give us the higher leveled versions. Oh god. Can't even imagine that. I sense that we have embarked upon something monumental. Something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor, nor reassurance, than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there's anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of this crystal. You'll be the first to know when we do. Yee! Okay. So if I talk to Nemejiji... Sparks, allow me to thank you personally for your contribution to our research. Your stories of the ancient creations are the seeds of a great many theories, and I can't wait for them to flourish. Professor Claudian has asked me to write detailed records of your investigation. If you wouldn't mind staying for a while, I would ask you to tell me more of your adventures in the past. Adventures that started with that mysterious crystal seemingly containing a message declaring crisis in this pandemonium. Of course, Professor Claudian will eventually make a report, but we are deficit on concrete facts at present. To that end, I suppose a comprehensive catalog of the beasts you encountered in the Asphodelos circles would be a fine starting point. Yes. Occur every gory detail, every hair-raising description. Nemejiji, I brought the volumes you've asked for, but are you quite certain we need all of this just to research the crystals? Some of these, habitats of aquatic life forms and myths and folklore of the phoenix, for example, seem to have little bearing on the subject. In fact, many of these tomes seem to be related to the creatures of pandemonium Spark spoke of. Surely we have better things to do with our time. Spark has already encountered and subdued them, so what use could further insight offer? On the contrary, Synod, we would be remiss in our duties as academics not to take every opportunity to learn more of these subjects. To view the creatures of bygone times through the lens of modern science is a dream so few have the chance to achieve. Of course, I'll not deny a personal interest in the matter, as I thought. While there were enough relevant volumes for me to fulfill your request this once, if you wish to sate your appetite for knowledge again, might you do so on your own time? Aww. Shall we proceed? Tell me everything you remember, and please, spare not a single detail. I don't easily frighten, you may be assured. We might start with your battle with this transformed warder. Erichiothonios, was it? I would also like to hear of the key ward and the nature of his metamorphosis. Yep. Good. Thank you for this priceless information. While I'm disappointed I couldn't behold your foes with my own eyes, your stories have given me more than enough to write sufficiently thorough descriptions. Perhaps we should also include basic theories concerning the growth and behavior of these creatures. It would give our little catalog some flavor, wouldn't you agree? We could start with, aquatic life forms in our time have been observed to grow to sizes that are orders of magnitudes larger than their larval forms. In fact, it may not be so preposterous that the hippocampus you encounter was merely the larval form of a much more massive, and dare I say, horrific entity. I would prefer to think that that was the adult form and the larval form is tiny. Seriously. Now don't look at me like I'm some mad magus. Breakthroughs have been precipitated by even wilder theories than that. As Professor always says, we mustn't let logic stand in the way of brilliance. To prove in one way or the other, every hypothesis is a valid one. There's nothing quite like the ambrosia of inspiration. Are you making records or creating fairy tales? A valid question. So long as I make a note in the margins of my records indicating that a theory is unproven, we can let our imaginations run wild. Yes, I said our. You needn't be a researcher to have an idea that will leave its mark for generations. Yep, there we go. The savage version. God damn. And this is Pandemonium Relic Exchange, where we can trade in the unsung relics. Alright, we have enough for earrings, but let's see. Okay, we already have the one of slaying for that, and the slaying necklace, and the slaying ring. So we don't really need anything else, except... Hold on, let me just check and see. Okay, yeah, we don't need anything else from this one. We need some of the other items, quite frankly. Because, yeah, we finally got the unsung blade, but we need like 4 of them. And we need 2 of the helmets in order to get anything relating to helmets. But we already have a more powerful helmet anyways. We need at least 4 to get the chest plate, which would be nice. So we need to get 1 more of them. We've already got more powerful gloves. And more powerful trousers. What about boots? We have more powerful boots because we have the Pantheon set. So, we don't actually need any of these things. But at the same time, for this class anyways, I am going to check the other classes. We'll start with checking Gunbreaker. Okay, so firstly, that's 580 for the earring. We have 560. So really, we need to replace the ring first, because that is majorly detracting from our total score. So first we'll get the Limbo Ring Offending. Then the next thing that's detracting from it, that's still low, is the other ring. I think you can only have 1 of each, so we'll leave that alone. So next it'll be the earring, which if we exchange, that's all we can get. So there. Oh, nice, 69. Yeah, that's all we can do for that, so that's all we'll do for that. But we can also continue with the story for this. An unwelcome visitor. I don't like the look of what it's showing there with that eye. Sparks, I made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say, Professor Claude, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. I guess, of course. My apologies, Sparks. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I have quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning. With the crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides containing memories of a party yet unknown, we cried out for deliverance from Pandemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity wrought of mythic beasts and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions Demis and Thonos was sufficient to restore order to the circles of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains. In the depths of Pandemonium, a presence yet stirs, its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Yep, that is everything accurate. Since you've returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggested a feeling of loss, or yearning specifically, the yearning to be made whole, and indeed ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us, or will Sparks grace us with his protection? I'm afraid he has more pressing matters to attend to, dear Rusinod. Namely, seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandemonium, where this all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my little assistant, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. Oh, he's going by himself. You can't be. Do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Well, yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I've already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. I trust you to take good care of the laboratory in my absence. And off he goes. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudia intends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he has been worse than usual. While I can't fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystals seem loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke only to you last time, now the Professor has been able to capture its etherical yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable we are. Search for his crystals seemed to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return, I'm certain he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, Sparks, it may be best to return to Pandemonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandemonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before they're being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the ancients, it's that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Ah, brilliant. Delving into these records may shed light on creatures Sparks has yet to encounter. Your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only his strength to carry the day. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. Yep, I'll do that. I love the way that looks. Seeing the world unsundered. It's shown through to be in Norvrant. Because it's connected to the crystal tower. Which it really is such a shame we can't use the crystal tower in other parts. But, oh well. Perpetua Archives. Oh, Themis is here. Ah, it's good to meet you here of all places. You seek records on Pandemonium's creations? Master Themis has just finished perusing the very same. Shall not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I've saved you the trouble and gleaned what information I could. Ah, so you know each other. I was dreading having to once again scour the archives. Perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. As should we, for I have undone the warning sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandemonium's protective wards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Richiothon's capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently in master interment, that he might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. And since fate has brought us both here, I would ask you to accompany me while I attend to another matter. More idle suspicions that I would like to chase down. Rest assured, it shall not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the Naos of Pandemonium. Ooh, are we going to get a new character joining us? Or it will be an old character. It will be interesting to see who we run into. Could be Hermes, for all we know. Or Emmett Selk. Could be anyone, really. An old character or a new one. I'm kind of hoping for a new one, though. I feel like Hermes' story has been told in full. And the same holds true for Emmett Selk and Hytholodius. And the same holds true for pretty much every ancient that we've interacted with prior. Like, it's good to see some more backstory for Elidibus, because Themis is Elidibus. And it's good to see some more backstory for Lahabrea, who was one of the more, well, not more interesting, but he was the original Asian that we dealt with. The one we saw before any of the others. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see some more of his backstory. Like the fact that he has a son, for instance, and a wife who died. As I have pondered our expedition into Pandemonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the warders we encountered felt for Lahabrea, whether it be for good or ill. Hesperios and Richiothonus were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looks to his father with bald hatred. I do not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions towards a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude toward my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself. It is more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandemonium seem to view Lahabrea with a feeling approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they have all been drawn to him. There were many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling besides. I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my questions to a member of the words of Lahabrea. Ooh, and here they are. It's a new person. I've never met them before. Words of Lahabrea's speaker. They're not going to be that important, then. My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you are conducting an investigation of Pandemonium and wish to know of its origins? Indeed. In particular, I wish to know why exactly Pandemonium was built directly under Elphis. The facility is overseen by the words of Lahabrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first I thought it to be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could be easily ushered into their new homes. I was surprised when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the words of Lahabrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited, information, I cannot but feel that the Academia Aniader would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? These are fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Padawan's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmise, the majority of the creations kept within Pandemonium were self from Elpis. Yet as the years passed, interests changed. Failures in creations deemed too flawed, even to submit to Elpis, paradoxically drew the attention of Pandemonium's researchers. That is quite the change. In fact, it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be the subject of research? Master Lahabrea. Such authority is reserved for the chief keyword, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So Pandemonium's resources were being misused. It would be under Lahabrea's authority, correct? I don't know what you're suggesting. The keywords also hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master Lahabrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Though I admit, as of late, their communication has been somewhat sporadic. We have recently received a report from one of the keywords stating that all is well within Pandemonium's halls. Really? You are certain that a keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communication suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their due diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That'll be all for my prying. Then I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it will be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. Yep, something suspicious be afoot. All is well. Blatant lie into that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain that we must return to the Pandemonium with haste. Yep. We definitely do need to do that. I cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we would be remiss to leave Erichiathonos at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. Yep, let's hope. That would be troubling. Whoa, what's he doing? It looks like he's mastered interment now. Oh, so close. Looks like it's shattered at the very last section. Second. Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. Now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. Who goes there? Oh, that is not good. There's something to be admired in such single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares, as you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth. I know this creature. A familiar of the Phoenix, but that monster is locked away. That it is, in spite of the trouble I went to in freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must. Control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp. 'Tis simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words, I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there is no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of Lahabrea, your father. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I have heard those words many times. The scolding of a tutor whose students struggle to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I have not told that to anyone. Not even keyword Hesperios. That can only mean one thing. But still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, Lahabrea. At last you move to keep up. Pity that you remain behind, nevertheless. What? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. Though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandemonium's great experiments. There's the affection I remember. Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall take pride in that and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What? What wish? Come, and all should be revealed. All this rage, this hatred, is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you... Oh, please tell me we can save him before he gets teleported away. Oh, thank goodness. Uninvited guests join our reunion. Seems fortune no longer favors you. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I am no longer a child. My faith lies with those who have earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperios low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. Okay, so Lahabrea is somehow connected to all this. Thank you. If you had shown up even a moment later, sure to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There is but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation, and keyword alike. Ooh. So yeah, Lahabrea is somehow connected to all this. And so there can be but one conclusion. Lahabrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There is logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics, may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. Misdeeds perpetuated here could not have been done by the Lahabrea I know. You have met him, yes. Do you think he is capable of this? Yes, would be the answer. Lahabrea is capable of far more than you know. I see. So you believe Lahabrea to be a man of few scruples, if it brings his goals closer in reach. Yep. That alone should be enough. But let me assure you, Lahabrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be one to let emotion stand in the way of his mission, I can't believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomfiting to behold. Discomfiting? Hold on. Make someone feel uneasy or embarrassed is what discomfit means. Interesting. So, uneasy is where the context here. Then we must move forward with no excessive caution. Lahabrea, or whoever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandemonium. We can safely assume the other keyboards won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let's make our way through Abyssos one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Richarthoniel's side in case our enemies think to target him again. Can I trouble you to take the vanguard? I always take the vanguard, so don't worry. Thank you. As a precaution, I'll safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should you become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyboard's magics will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scale somewhat. I trust I shall be liberal with your weight. Yep. Quest accepted. And Abyssos, the 5th circle, now accessible. It's accessible, doesn't mean we can actually run it. Because it might be... Oh, wait, no. It is within our level. Eye level. So we can go ahead and queue for it. Okay, it says less than 5 minutes while I'm waiting. It is now 8:30 on my end. I don't know what time it'll be for you guys when you're watching this, but... Well, or where you're watching it. Let's see. I'm gonna see if my usual pace is open. The one I like to order from. Okay, yes, they are open. They are available for delivery. I'm gonna just check meal deals first. Okay. Because with the meal deals, I could potentially get options that will give me things to have over a few days. Like there's one meal deal here that looks like it has the equivalent of 4 meals in it. So that could work. Though 2 of the meals are not ones that reheat easily. What's that one? Okay. Okay, I don't really like any of the options, so I'm probably just gonna go and get separate things. Okay, so first let's look at sundries. So I do want some hash browns. I also would very much like a garlic dip. Let's see, pizzas. I'm not really in the mood for pizza or garlic bread. I would, however, like a doner wrap. Preferably with salad and garlic. Okay. So that covers two of our things. That covers... I think that covers my meal, basically, but I want to check some other things. Huh. I'm sure this place had fish and chips on its menu, but apparently not. I think that'll do me then. Although, maybe I'll get some more sundries. I wouldn't mind getting some cheesy chips. And some onion rings as well. Anything else? Anything else? Nah, I think that's it. Okay. There we go. Food has been ordered. Now just awaiting confirmation. And I'm gonna wait until the 5 minutes mark has passed. The food itself should take about an hour. Once it arrives, that'll be where we'll cut the stream for a bit. Hopefully we can do another bit of pandemonium. Ba-da-ba-ba. Do 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 do. Ba-da-ba-ba. Do, 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 do. I just don't want to teleport in case, because we'll just get dragged back here. But at the same time, I do kind of want to continue making progress with regards to the items we were gathering. Let's see, what were we in the middle of getting anyways? Or have we already gathered? Yeah, we were in the... No, we got all the jade. What was in the we were in the middle of gathering? It was... black alum. Which, no, we have enough of it. So the next thing was grenade ash from Blue Frog. Then electrum sand and marble from Bronze Lake. And... well, there's actually a bunch of stuff in Bronze Lake and some other stuff in Eastern Thanalan. So our first stop would have been Bronze Lake after we were done in Blue Frog. Then... no, we go to Blue Frog. Then we go to Drybone. Then Bronze Lake. I'll be honest in saying if that doesn't... I'll give it till it hits the 10-minute mark, then... actually, nah. I might as well just pop over there now. If it pops almost immediately after I arrive, oh well. That's just what comes with the territory of doing all this. We probably won't be here for long with this. Damn, I hate when we... seriously? It's 90%! When it's 90%, that's basically guaranteed collection. Getting a double failure is ridiculous, but also we're gonna have to be careful around this area, because it does look as if there are enemies that are well above the level of this character right now, or the potential for enemies that are well above his level. Yeah, because sneak only works up to 4 levels above your own. So that basilisk over there, which is a good 5 levels above, would notice us and come after us immediately. So we need to be quick about gathering these resources. The queue is waiting for one more tank. That's it. One more tank and it'll pop. Ooh. Do we? I'm gonna get it. Try and get it. You can only have one map decoded at a time, I think. If I'm remembering how that system works. But it's definitely worth decoding them, because I think you can get good stuff from them. Though it's been a while since I've done anything with Time 1 maps. Alright, we're at 22. We just need to get 50. Then we're done with this particular resource. Then we can go hunting elsewhere, where it's safer. This area is only moderately safe. Let's go double check. Okay, my order's been confirmed and it could be here between 9:30 and 10 to 10. Ba-da. Oop, there we go. God damn it, I hate it when that happens. Because it basically bounces you back into the queue. And while some people might get back in straight away, there's no guarantee that you will. Of course, if we do this one, should give me almost, if not exactly what I need for... Oh, wait. It's fine. Those type of enemies ignore you. Because they're special. Although if I was needing something from him, I would attack him. But I don't. So I'll ignore him. Oh, we have enough. Okay. I said our next destination after we got enough of that would be this place, Drybone. Let's teleport to Camp Drybone. And once again, hope that this pops soon. I do hate it when I'm on stream and it's... the things pop, but then somebody backs out. Because I get all excited about the fact that it's popped and we'll be able to get on with it. But then I get the disappointment of, oh, no, we're not going to be able to do it. Because somebody's decided that they don't want to anymore. It could be that something's happened on their end, which is why they're not able to do it right now. But it doesn't change how annoying it is. Still, I guess it's alright. I can continue with mining. I just don't want to be having another stream where we find out, where we end up spending most of it just mining. I think if I rename this episode, I'm going to call it something like, what else do we expect from Lahabrea? He did not create a good first impression, really. As a villain, he was kind of boring. Like, he's just your bog standard villain. There's nothing really that I can think of that stands out from him. Aside from him, like, possessing our friend's body. But even then, that's, again, still a very bog standard villain move. That's not even unique to Final Fantasy XIV. Something that happens in a lot of Final Fantasy games. Oh, also, hey Google, passage light on. Sorry if anyone's Googles are activated there. I should really do a warning whenever I'm about to do that. I'll remember that for future. That I need to do a warning before I go and activate that. Basically, I was just making sure that the passage light was on. It makes my house stand out more when the delivery people come around. Easier to find. Though really it would be good if I had some sort of external light. I think if I owned my own house and it had a gate up the front... No, I couldn't put a light on that gate because some shithead will come along and just break the light. Because it's funny to inconvenience other people. So, probably better to just have the light on the inside. Or maybe if I can find glow-in-the-dark paint. Paint the house number onto the gate. Or beside the gate and glow-in-the-dark paint. There again, glow-in-the-dark. That would fade over time. So I don't know how effective that would be as an option. I'd have to look into it on that one. Also, how are we doing on this? Perhaps one more gathering. Seriously, it popped just a few moments ago. And now it's refusing to because we have no tanks. You know, it was probably a tank that turned down the mission, which is why we have none now. This really bugs me. We have a higher than 50% chance of getting things. How are we doing now? We have 51. Good. Now for the rubelite. If I keep growing like this, we'll level up again in no time. It really isn't that hard to level up crafting or gathering classes. If you just get 50 of each resource. I am not actively participating in that. I could, but I'm not. The only class that really could benefit from it are either white mage or blue mage. Probably blue mage more so because it's lower leveled. Yeah, we're definitely going to level up just doing this. Come on. I know I could use sharp vision to increase our odds, but... Oh look, it's raining in this area now. See? We leveled up again. If it doesn't pop by the time my food arrives, I'm gonna... stop so I can have my food. And then continue once I've had my food. Probably only like half an hour or so after. We'll see though. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah, we're gonna get a duty failed message in a moment. Or fate failed, rather. Because, oh no, we didn't participate. Because I don't want to. I'm gathering resources. Let me gather resources in peace. See? God, I hate that message whenever you get it. Like, if you don't contribute to the fate at all, you shouldn't even be a, like, you shouldn't be declared as having joined the fate until you actually participate and do something related to it. Okay. So that's raw amber, raw rubellite. Loads of more stuff to get at higher levels now. Some of these appear to be rare. As in, they'll only pop up occasionally. Thank goodness, it's finally cute. As we are preparing to go to another area, it pops. I really do hope my food doesn't arrive while we're in the middle of doing this. Please, healer, say yes. Some of us has been queuing for way too long. Please don't be one of those people that says no or just sits until it runs out. Please just be in the middle of something and then jump in as soon as it pops. Or as soon as that's done, please. Thank you. Alright, here we go. Abyssos. This should be interesting. Ooh. Oh no, we all got teleported. We've been separated. And I have been put into a cage from the looks of things. With our next monster, which looks very familiar. Mythic creation, proto-carbuncle. That is like meant to be an ancient version of a carbuncle? The fuck happened? Why can't we summon that? Our carbuncles are cute, but they're like pathetic compared to that thing. I hope we have a summoner in our party. shame. It's a shame we don't, because that would have been perfect. Huh. Interesting. Oh shit, what does that mean? Which side of... Should I be on this side of the barrier, or... Oh god. That was pure guessing. I don't know what to do here. Okay, it's whichever ones those crystals appear in are gonna be the ones. I think. I don't know. A lot of mechanics I don't necessarily understand until after the fact. Like that one I guess. You watch for the name, it's gonna be that one. And I definitely need to see about using a controller for this game. Also, I hope these spikes around the outer edges of the cage are like, oh shit, what's going on? Oh, is this gonna be an active time maneuver? Is it? No, it's breaking the cage. Shit! Well, that cage was poorly designed. What's doing... Oh god, it just ate something. I think it's about to transform in some way. Though admittingly that move did cost me my, Okay, watch for where the stones spawn. And then go for the one without stone. I think is the way this is designed. Oh, fuck! Right in the middle! Of course, I died to a mechanic while I was away dealing with food. My food is here, but we're gonna obviously finish the duty before we even consider having any food. It actually arrived like a full half hour. Oh shit. Yeah, I noticed the green ones with the expanding aura. What's this about? Is that the order he's gonna fight in? Do we... Okay. Damn it. Yep. Okay. I didn't know what to expect there, to be honest. It's my first time here, so I'm gonna make mistakes. That is an inevitability. Oh. Granted, one of those mistakes was ordering food and then queuing for this. But honestly, I expected it to arrive, my food to arrive after. Oh shit. That button. I am very tempted to go ahead and activate my LB3 now. But standard rule with LB3s. You wait until the enemy drops below 10%. Come on. The main reason why you wait till it drops below 10% is so that you can give other players, well, partially to give other players the chance to activate theirs if they want. But no, they've had plenty of chances. I went for it because it was fun. Also because it's my first time here, which means I should get the honors. Woo, we did it! Proto Carbuncle defeated, and the other two have arrived. Contain it. He knows what he's doing, at least. He's just not strong enough to finish it on his own. But he'll get there, I'm sure. Yay! Okay. I obviously am needing on everything, because this is stuff that's necessary for gear. And healer. And leave. Okay. We'll get to unlocking the next one, and then take a break while I have my dinner. So this is where research is conducted on creations imbued with poison and venoms. XIV and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are forced to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might observe you further. Who is it? Lahabrea? Next keyword. Oh god, it is Lahabrea. That's what he used to look like? Holy shit! I don't know what I was expecting, but, goddamn. You got a major downgrade. Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long. But I believe we can forgo introductions. Unless I have misread you. Yeah, he lost his beard. I'm all too familiar, Paragon. A charming appellation. I'm afraid I hold no such position. No, I am Lahabrea of the Convocation of 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. Ugh, what is this? Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts ether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin ether, and in an unfamiliar composition besides. It's of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will get the same results. I would advise you think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, where Teuthonios' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall you meet Athena. Mother, you would dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Erythiotonos. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies' protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Erythiotonos, wait. There is a question I must needs ask first. If you truly are Lahabrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle, soon forgotten as are you. I have my answer. The Lahabrea that I knew took pride in the Convocation and would never suffer its denigration. You sully his station with this farce. Themis, what are you saying? Lahabrea hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real Lahabrea would never call him by the name Themis. There's the real Lahabrea. What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Well, imposter. You have no right to claim that form, that mask. Whoa, who are you? Who? It was a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of Lahabrea, a man who values his position above all, would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right. Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Where's your Thonos? Listen well. I am Hephaestus. It is I whom you should call father. What in the name of creation? He does look similar. You would do well not to stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order. Dear Elidibus, let us return to safety so you may provide it. That sounds more like the Lahabrea I know. Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As Lahabrea has said, I am Elidibus, one of the convocation, an emissary of their will. For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. I had a feeling. Your perceptiveness does not surprise me. When the time comes, it shall make my explanation all the easier to understand. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as Lahabrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. Please, help me. Save him. What? Okay, that's weird. As you are aware by now, I am known as Elidibus. After my dear friend Azem and I detected irregularities in Pandemonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I am sure Lahabrea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was, so I shall save that story for later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azem nor I have ever met you in the flesh, you came with his highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to himself was out there amused Azem to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in his heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I have heard stories that Mistress Vinal, who held the position of Azem previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. Okay, so this takes place after our first visit to Elpis. Okay, I thought it took place before then. Interesting. She too now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I know I would be in capable hands. Aware though I was of the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, Lahabrea. Truth be told, I had hoped we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself Lahabrea? And why is he the spitting image of your younger self? Ooh, of his younger self. Interesting. I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandemonium. I think matters would simply sort themselves out. I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandemonium, including the fact that Zem and Elidibus had taken upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when, instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the key wards saying that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestus' deception was almost childish in its simplicity, claimed to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning. I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another to masquerade as one of the convocation. Not without good reason, at least. As you all know, the name Lahabrea is but a marker of my station. It is not the name I was born with. Festos has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way, yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire, all the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. And now that he has awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster unto our star. As chief keyword of Pandemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facilities destroyed. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? It is a choice befitting Lahabrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandemonium if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet, as you can see by Richiothorn's response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Zem and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No! You spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes that Sparks has stood against. Sparks, is it? Being as such ether as I have never seen. What are you? He is the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to his stout arm and steadfast courage, you have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Hey, Nano. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Sparks. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. It's too soon to give up on saving the others. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Hephaestus, and I highly doubt Lahabrea has been forthcoming with the truth. But we've managed to regain control of Asphodelos. You must be made to see that there is merit in continuing on this path. I have it. Speak in your official capacity as Elidibus the Emissary. Judge which approach is more sound. Even Lahabrea would be compelled to listen. Huh. As a Bellisp, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Themis can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust that you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then, in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandemonium outright and taking time to rescue its researchers, and neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice we continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness Spark's might and Arichithos' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objection to the immediate destruction of Pandemonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Sparks, come find me when you've finished. Arichithos is understandably frustrated. If we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray lend an ear to his troubles, that their weight might be enlightened. Okay. Once we get to the point of unlocking the next, Wait, can we just walk through these then? Huh. Okay. I didn't think we could just walk through these. But fair enough. Basically, what we're doing right now is we're just going to get to unlocking the next duty, and then we're going to take a break so I can have my food. You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway me, Lahabrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. And certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world. They deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Hephaestus has secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried if Pandemonium were reduced to rubble. We need to uncover the truth behind his words. The truth of my mother. While Lahabrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hephaestus would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not Lahabrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly he could condemn others to die. We only wish to know, at last, what befell her. What do you think, Sparks? Does the Lahabrea you know have any regard for the lives of others? Will he carry his duty with another's blood on his hands? He always was a man who worked from the shadows. Well, that in and of itself isn't reason for suspicion. He's one of the convocation who must forge the path for mankind. Naturally, not all of their activities are conducted within the public eye. But it is plain there is much to consider. Thank you, Sparks. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion where he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to Lahabrea that we are capable of saving Pandemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be to regain control of Abyssos. Although I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those depths than any of us. And seeing as how we require every advantage we can afford. So I could just speak to him for us. He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities. May deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do. This is a little bit from a distant past, so he may be different from how he is in the present, or the one we knew. Thanos appears to have a deep trust in you. Olivas tells me you share some relation to Azem. Your unusual ether does not mark you as a familiar. It's unlike anything I have seen, even among the countless concepts I have observed. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Azem never ceases to surprise. The previous Azem was much the same. Taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elizabeth have conducted yourself in this manner, the true danger of Azem's nature is its tendency to infect all those he comes into contact with. Thank you for noticing. Emmett Selk said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. Matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssos, I take it. Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keyword reaches far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they have been made into fodder for experimentation. Perhaps they have been transferred to the deeper circles. Hephaestus would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of hegemony. Keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there's something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that's because she's already been twisted into Hemiotheos, doubtless against her will. Sparks, Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate. If we cannot, we can at least seal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bolder, Thanos. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. There we go. The sixth circle has been unlocked. Well, we've made decent progress in the almost 2.5 hours that I'd set aside for us to do things. So this is where we're going to be taking a break. I'm going to be having my food, and when I come back from food, we will continue with the stream. So probably back in about half an hour to an hour. We'll see how I feel. But I should definitely be back by 11 o'clock, because I intend to get at least another 2 hours in. So until later, guys, as always, I've been Sparks, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!